Today we are going to be looking at one of the most powerful troops within Clash of Clans. This is in the meta right now at high level play. Town Hall 10, 11 and 12. You should be trying to learn this strategy. I am very happy for the Dragons. In recent months a number of changes have happened that has basically led to this strategy being a lot more viable. That's what we're going to discuss in this video. What kind of bases should you look for, and how exactly should you attack them? What kind of strategies can you use the Dragons for in order to get the 3 stars? So let's get into it. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this first attack, and no doubt many of you will know that the bat spell has had a huge part to play in the Dragons becoming a lot more viable. Now that is one of the strategies, and probably the main strategy, that you will use the Dragons for, in that of the drag bat. However, there are a number of different ways to get this to work, so let's get into it. In this first one, we have used the King and Queen sacrificially in order to create a funnel. So the King was on the top side of the base here, Queen was at the bottom, able to shoot out an air defense, which basically focuses your Dragons into the base itself. If you are new to the channel guys, be sure to subscribe for all of my Clash of Clans videos and turn on that notification bell to see them as soon as they go live. Now on the back end of the base here, you can see all of the bats now come into play. Basically, you want to merge the Dragons and the bats together. We do have a few examples for you today. We have an example as well without the bat spell. The Dragons can still work by themselves. They always were a strategy that could work, so they most certainly still can, especially since a lot of bases now are running multi-infernos to try and defend the lava loon, try and defend the bat spell in itself. You can use that to your advantage. It really doesn't do too much against your Dragons. It is all funneling the Dragons appropriately is probably the most important thing. Now look at the end of this attack. That is an incredible amount of Dragons left over in order to complete that 3-star. Fantastic stuff. All of these attacks are by crunch time in our Clash Cup League matchup against Dutch Force. If you are interested in joining crunch time, check out my Discord. The link is in the description of this video. Now we move on to an attack which does not use the bat spell, and it's just as powerful as that first one. Wait until you see how many Dragons are left over. But basically, why does this work? Well, check it out. Even back when you started Clash, Town Hall 7 for example, it was so easy to get the Dragons to work by picking off the air defense. So as you can see on this base, just look at where the air defense are. They are right on the outside of the base. Have you the ability to take them out, your Dragons are going to do very well, especially with 2 multi-infernos in the base. So we have the Queen pick off the air defense at the north. A couple of balloons with a haste spell is used to pick off the air defense at the most western side of the base. That then allows our Dragons through. We're able to easily funnel the Dragons by putting just a couple on the outsides of the base, meaning that the majority of them bulk up towards the center. But we still have to deal with the 2 air defense on the back end. Again though, they are right at the edge of the base, so a Stone Slammer, the siege machine, is very easily used for that most southern air defense. Have you not got a siege machine, this could have easily been done with some balloons, as you will see with that most eastern air defense as well. Once the Dragons get close to it and just about within its range, you want to time it so whereby the balloons can come in just quick enough in order to tank for the Dragons. Here they come just as that final balloon in the center there went down. The rest of them came in with the haste in order to take that out, and whilst the Dragons were were flown straight into a sweeper, there was actually nothing there able to take them out. They were able to eventually just overwhelm that sweeper. So again, it's looking at the base as an entirety to see, can you actually get this to work? Key things you are looking for is funneling your dragons. That is massive. If you can't funnel the dragons too well, then it might not be the best strategy for you. But there's different ways to funnel the dragons as well. We'll get into that. One of the most popular ways is using that stone slammer to kind of come alongside the dragons, if you will, and ensure to take out defenses to keep the dragons moving through. But the bats are also used for that, using the bats to take out defenses in an area as the dragons are coming through and sweep through the base side by side with the dragons, if that makes sense. Let's just show you an example of it. So the heroes are basically going to be used in a suicide fashion. There's not many times in a base that you wouldn't use this method. You'd use the king in order to take out a bunch of buildings, as you can see, and your queen, you've just got to respect the fact that she can shoot over that first layer of wall. If there's archer towers, air defense, anything that does any kind of damage to your dragons, make sure you're using the queen for that. Here's the example of the stone slammer coming in to control the dragons. So you can see we've used the queen and the enemy CC to actually pull the dragons into the center of the base. Now what we don't want is a huge pack of them coming up to the top. So yes, whilst one or two of them split, we've actually got the stone slammer up there taking out them buildings, so the main pack of dragons are still in the center of the base. We do have the bat spells now coming in towards that back end, again trying to distract the wizard tower and any kind of splash damage that could take out your bats very quickly. So if you're not using a freeze spell, just see, can you actually wait until the dragons get in that area? Can you bring some balloons in the back end of the base in order to distract? And as you can see, that is the power of the bats, should you be able to get them through the splash damage defenses. Again, on this one, we do have a couple of cleanup troops around the base, but the dragons are doing a nice job. We've got the bats, the balloons, nothing going to stop us getting the 3 stars here. Now with the dragons, you want to try and sweep from one side of the base to another. You do not want to try and miss out buildings, if that makes sense. You want to ensure that you are not going to miss out on time. The dragons can be a little bit slow, so you have to ensure you are sweeping from one side to the other. You don't want to be going in a massive circle, although it can work, it's just not as efficient. So let's move on to the final example here for you. Check out this stone slammer coming in towards the single target inferno. It's going to pop that wizard tower first, get across to it, and again the dragons, if we pause for a second, the dragons are going to be weak to single target infernos and air defense. They are the two main things that you want to be trying to get down. So again, if we can get that single down at the bottom, which we can, the queen can get the air defense here and also step up to hopefully get this one that is 2 air defense down and out. Notice how we had a lava hound in front of the dragons. If you can control the pathing of that hound, ensure that it's actually going ahead of the dragons, it can be very, very helpful. You've got to make sure that there's no single target infernos in its way, but if it sets off 1 or even 2 black air bombs, then you've definitely got the value. I mean, if it sets off 2, you've protected 2 dragons, you've got the troop capacity back, but should it absorb the fire of many of the defenses alongside 1 black air bomb, might still be worth it for the dragons. The other thing, which I haven't really highlighted to you, but the balloons merging in with the dragons are set to do exactly that. They are trying to set off the black air bombs, trying to get onto the defenses quicker, so make sure you are looking at the pathing of the dragons as well, not just funneling them initially into the base. That's obviously huge. King on one side, queen on the other, like we've said, is the most simplistic, but once you've got them into the base, where are they going to go? If they're going to start splitting throughout the base, you need to control their pathing somehow, whether that's with the stone slammer coming in, with the drag bat coming in, the bat spell coming in, sorry, in order to control control the dragons through the base itself and onto the defenses you need to. So the air defense you've got to have a plan with, whether that's controlling the dragons to it or bringing something else into them air defense as well. And make sure you are planning out your spells appropriately. If you're going to use a rage spell onto the dragons, which can be very, very helpful, then you've got to ensure that it's going to help the dragons through that part of the base. So that is going to wrap it up for this one. Again, Crunch Time with the victory here against Dutch Force. If you are interested in joining Crunch Time, like I said, you can check out my Discord server. It's down in the description of this video. We are not recruiting Town Hall 10s though, guys. We are only recruiting maxed Town Hall 11 and 12s for the Champions War League. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, the button is right next to me alongside, guys. As ever, if you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and share your tips down below. But that wraps it up for this one. Until next time, peace out.